315 horsepower, and the whole idea is to make it affordable and fun. And hey, we're going to check that out. Another story, we talked about this just a couple of weeks ago on Cruise Control Motoring. There is an aluminum shortage, and Ford has had to shut down some of its production because it uses aluminum extensively in the F-150. But now another manufacturer is having the same problem, and they're going to have to kind of work around that problem. We'll tell you how they're going to do it.
It's a big problem. I, as you know, Fred, prepared myself. I went out and bought 200 boxes of Reynolds wrap.
Excellent. I thought you were
So,
going to say you bought like
no,
1,500 giant rolls of aluminum just in case.
I wish I owned them. But anyway, in the reality world, Kia teases the 2027 version of its best-selling model, and we all know what that is.
Yeah, we do. It begins with T, Telluride. This is a model. This is like their F-150. They can't mess that up because
absolutely
it's a big seller. And then GM gets conversational with AI software. This is something we're going to see from a lot of manufacturers. GM is one of the first to bring it out. You're just going to talk very naturally for navigation or different controls in the vehicle, like you're having a conversation. Matter of fact, you can't talk the way we're used to talking, for voice-operated things. You have to talk in a very conversational way, and we'll tell you what they have planned.
I like that. And I plan to try it out. What electric vehicles are canceled or delayed, and one that is still underway?
Yep, we'll talk about that. There's a lot canceled. It's a list put together by Inside EVs, and we'll take a look at it. I think it's pretty interesting. But one of those vehicles is still going to make it. And Toyota shows its new FJ Land Cruiser, the small one, Les. This has not been in the U.S. for a long time. The new one might not be coming to the U.S., but we thought you'd like to take a look at it anyway. The FJ Cruiser is still a very popular vehicle, used vehicle in the U.S., so be interesting to take a look at it.
Yeah, I don't understand why it isn't here. Toyota generally doesn't make mistakes.
I think it has to do probably with tariffs. They don't want to bring it here. It's built in Japan, but who knows? But all that and more on Cruise Control Motoring.
Thanks, Fred. And what do you think? Let's get to the first story, which involves a favorite, which is the RAV4.
Yeah, that sounds great, Les. A very important vehicle for Toyota, one of their biggest sellers, if not their biggest seller. It is all new. It is the 6th generation RAV4, available in 3 designs across 7 grades. So you get a lot of choice. But one thing you don't get a choice in is if you don't want hybrid, you're out of luck because they're all hybrid or plug-in hybrid and available with front or electronic on-demand all-wheel drive.
And this is the debut of the 6th generation plug-in hybrid powertrain is here with 23% increase in manufacturer estimated all-electric driving range, rated up to 52 miles. That's, man, they're really getting good at this.
And horsepower is up too. Hybrid models add power with 236 net combined system horsepower on all-wheel drive models and 226 on front-wheel drive models, which is a nice increase all the way around. Estimated mileage on the hybrid is 44 miles to the gallon. That's the combined number on front-wheel drive. Remember, this is a big vehicle, so it's not like it's a small compact vehicle, right?
That's exactly right. And the first ever RAV4 GR Sport, developed in partnership with Toyota's Gazoo Racing. Those are cool people.
Yeah.
And they're just making the RAV4 better motorsport driving. And again, it's not a small vehicle.
No.
So, this takes a lot of engineering.
Yeah.
Tuned suspension and steering, functional aerodynamics, of course, plug-in hybrid powertrain, all-wheel drive, sports seating, and a whole lot more.
Yeah, and then, of course, you need a kind of a more off-roadable version, and that would be the RAV4 Woodland grade, and that is available in the hybrid and the plug-in hybrid with standard all-wheel drive, all-terrain tires, split hammerhead grille, tow hitch receiver, Woodland branded all-weather floor and cargo mats, and more. So that is the kind of rugged version. And then there's new technology, including that all-new digital gauge cluster, Toyota Safety Sense 4.0, and the latest generation of Toyota's audio multimedia system. This is a system that has been kind of developed by users who complained about certain things in the older system, and now they have some new things, some of the things they requested. But just think about that, Les, 44 miles to the gallon. If you're in all-wheel drive, I believe that goes down a couple miles, but not that much because the rear wheels are powered by electric motors, so you don't have a transfer case per se and a drive shaft heading back there and a differential. So think about the reduction in weight in doing it this way.
That's right. And it's actually pretty much of a bargain. The prices start in the low 30s,
right?
In an era when the average price for a vehicle is $50,000,
right?
So it's worth looking at.
Yeah, and of course there are 7 different models. which we could probably take the whole show and talk about that, but everything from the base model to the off-road capable, the GR. I mean, there's LE, the XLE, the Limited, the SE, the XSE. I mean, the ability to kind of make this your own is incredible.
It is. This is almost like a pickup truck with all of the possible combinations. You're getting an awful lot for your money.
Yeah, you are, and I can't wait to drive it. This is definitely going to be something that is important to Toyota, and hey, they had to hit this one out of the park. Over to Ford, Ford's Mustang RTR, they call it an attainable EcoBoost Mustang. I have to say the EcoBoost Mustang, even in its non-special edition model, is a pretty good bargain. You've got well over 300 horsepower from a 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, 315 horsepower actually, and 350 pound-feet of torque. But they've upped their game here with the RTR. They've done a couple of things here. Yes, there are appearance items, but they've also put in the anti-lag system for the turbocharger, which is a turbocharger kind of ready to spool up a lot faster than the standard one that comes with the vehicle. Vaughn Gittin Jr., who is a drifter, extreme drifter, been around for a long time, put his hands on this and kind of had a vision for what he wanted to do to make something that is affordable with an under $40,000 price and driftable as well. It has electronic drift brake, which is standard, and you can kind of throw this vehicle around because it doesn't have that heavy Coyote V8 up front. Matter of fact, I drove the performance package of a EcoBoost Mustang, and I found it to be quite enjoyable to drive. Not nose heavy at all, and just was extreme fun. So I think this RTR is going to be very popular. And, some have said, well, maybe it's just a performance package. But when you factor in that anti-lag system for the turbo and the fact that there's a lot of go-fast stuff for this vehicle that you can add to it, it kind of harkens back to the days of affordable performance. And affordable these days is under $40,000, I guess. That's affordable right for a car these days, any car, right?
Exactly. And, the important thing for anybody is when you're looking at something like this and you're thinking about putting on all the extra equipment to make it go faster, don't do it until you own it for a while, because you're going to find out almost all the time that the factory has done a really great job of making these and other brands of cars just about all you want.
Yeah,
And,
and
you
there
know,
are good pieces here. The RTR's rear subframe gets a dark horse spec as with different suspension bushings. The steering is retuned. The optional mag rider dampers are retuned, and stability control and track mode is also retuned. So just like vehicles like the N series from Hyundai, they have, as
mhm,
you making a great point, they have deeply engineered this. They have not slapped on some decals and different wheels and tires. They have deeply engineered this by going in and getting into the software. And you get good things like 4-piston Brembo brakes on the back, uh, beefier front and rear sway bars. They come from the Mustang Dark Horse. So there are kind of parts that have migrated down from the Dark Horse onto the EcoBoost,
yep,
but that's not a bad thing, is it?
not at all. So you gotta realize there are a whole bunch of engineers and a whole bunch of very, very expensive computer time designing these things, and you might be able to add stuff to make it go faster, but you won't make it work better.
Yeah.
Just try the basic thing, and we found in testing over the years it's pretty hard to beat these things.
Yeah, it definitely is. Now, let's move over to another Mustang of a different nature, and that is the Mustang Mach-E GT. They have now come out with a California special. This was a dealer's package on the original Mustang way back when, and it has been revived in the Mustang several times, and recently a couple of years ago. But now they brought it out to the Mach-E GT, 480 horsepower electric crossover. It's about $56,000, which is a reduced price for this, believe it or not.
It is, yeah.
It gets an illuminated rave blue pony emblem on the grill, as well as special 20-inch wheels with carbonized gray and black finish. It's special badging, hood graphic inspired by the California coastline. It is also gets a couple of upgrades in the cabin, including Navy Pier ActiveX upholstery. And the navy color can also be found on the steering wheel and center console. I always thought that was a cool look, a navy interior with a white exterior. Very nautical, I would say, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never asked you how you compare the Mach-E to the regular Mustangs, and if they feel to you like a real Mustang. They do to me. I mean, I have liked them since they came out, but
Yeah,
I'm,
I do like it. It's one of my favorite electric vehicles. Hard to say 1-to-1 if you could do it. I think what changes it a bit is the roof line, and the Mach E is higher, so you don't feel like you're
right.
kind of one with the vehicle. But that said, I don't even think of it as a Mustang. I know they do at Ford. I just think of it as a good electric vehicle that's sporty, has utility, and it's the price has been reduced. I like this California package. It is basically trim, but frankly, it's good looking trim, and it sets it
Yeah,
apart. I like the wheel style, which I believe is unique to
it
this.
always was a good-looking trim package going way, way back.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They're very definitely great looking wheels. The white and black contrast, the navy interior, and the lit up pony is great. Um, by the way, these are no slouches. 480 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, and 280 miles of range. The California special package will set you back $2,495. So you're going to be looking at probably $55,890 before factoring in the destination fee. But good looking vehicle, and I don't know if these are collectible per se, but it is pretty cool, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so, and I think we're too much uh, into the early days of electric vehicles to say what's collectible and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the people with the Mach-E's really do like them, and I see a lot around, and they just look like a sort of a tall Mustang.
All right, let's move over to another manufacturer that is getting hit with this aluminum shortage. We told you last week that it was a problem for Ford. The F 150 production was threatened because of a aluminum metal plant in New York that had to shut down. But now, as reported by Automotive News, it is time for Stellantis to get hit with this. They have paused the production of the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer at its
Hmm.
plant in Warren, Michigan, and won't reopen until the week of November 3rd. It is effectively due to a part shortage, and they're saying aluminum panels may be the culprit here. Of course, we reported last week on Cruise Control Motoring that the Grand Wagoneer will be all new for 2026. So Stellantis has decided to send that aluminum to the Ram factory. That Ram trucks are selling well, so it has decided to kind of target that to the Ram factory to build trucks for Ram pickup trucks that are selling better than the current Wagoneer. Of course, what happens? People find out there's a new Wagoneer coming, and a lot of people wait, right?
Yeah, no, this makes perfect sense. And hopefully the Novellis factory will get going again soon. I mean, I realize it's been paused until November 2nd or 3rd, which isn't far away, but still, when you're building automobiles and you're building hundreds, if not thousands a day, it's a big loss.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Ford is feeling it with that F 150, not being able to build the numbers that they want for sure. For sure. Hey, let's go over to Kia. Kia is teasing the next generation of Telluride, and it looks to be a little bit more chiseled, a little bit more upright in the front, different lighting. Even the side view mirrors are kind of um, more angular, I guess I would say. That's all we can get from it. As far as teasers go, this is a pretty good one to give you a little bit more of a look at it. The belt line out back rises up, which is a little bit different than the current model. And there's a very in the belt line at the back rises up to intersect with the D pillar, which reaches forward. It could be more of a Range Rover look. What do you say, Les? This is
Um,
something.
well, to me, it more of a Range Rover look. However, Kia says that the styling is inspired by its namesake Colorado town, Telluride.
Mm-hmm.
Aggressively defined triangular creases in the fenders resemble the chiseled facets of a diamond and capture the essence of the towering Rocky Mountains.
Okay.
I will now sing Rocky Mountain High.
No, no, please, please
No,
don't.
no, I know I'm not allowed.
But
But
there will be a reveal of this at the Los Angeles Auto Show scheduled for November 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And a live stream will be available to view at kia.com. So exciting stuff. Important vehicle for the folks over at Kia, right?
very important.
Yeah.
This they I think they still have trouble keeping them dealers keeping them in stock.
Yes, I believe they do. And tell you what, I think they would love to have even more of them if they could
Yeah,
build them for sure. for sure. Hey, over to GM. We told you about the new Chevy Bolt, but there's a report out this week that it might just be the first of many low-cost EVs from GM. GM is developing a lithium manganese-rich battery promising greater range. Of course, this is not the battery that is in even the new Bolt, but they're talking about affordable electric vehicles and kind of a family of them. And this was a recent comments by GM President Mark Royce. He said a family of new EVs is in the cards. They will use this new lithium manganese-rich battery, and it will also mean that these vehicles will go further and will be less expensive. You and I talked about this last week when we revealed the Bolt, and we said, you know, maybe this GM is not going super high-end with their new electric vehicles like the Silverado EV and others. You know, maybe they've gotten the message that they got to keep these things around $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in that range.
Yeah, this is Mark Royce calls some of these market slots white spaces, which is a good description. I think the strategy is right. I think there's so many very, very high-end electrics that if you get in there with, you know, stuff for the average household, a nice little range of distinct models, I think you got something. And I think their prices will come in a whole lot less than the $50,000 kind of starting point of a lot of electrics.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a small truck, a Maverick competitor that's electric. I think, you know, Ford is shooting for a very low-cost electric pickup truck. I think GM will do the same, obviously.
Yep.
You know, you're going to see a couple of different SUVs. The Bolt is sort of an SUV. It came back as the EUV model only. You're going to see a couple of those. How about a sporty vehicle? Do you think you would see a sporty vehicle, electric low-cost vehicle or lower-cost vehicle from GM?
I was kind of thinking yesterday about like a Bolt hot hatchback sort of a.
Yeah. All right, Les, we talked a little bit about GM bringing out some affordable electric vehicles. And in that conversation, Mark Royce also talked a little bit about vehicles that should not have been canceled. And he named three of them. It's kind of interesting. The first is the CT6. That was the large Cadillac that was designed to go up against the S-Class. I remember driving that vehicle and thinking it was wonderful.
It was terrific.
Of course, they had the Blackhawk V8 as an option in that. But it had a really incredible chassis. I remember it was at the New York Auto Show, and it was kind of out there. And I remember looking at it saying, this is a work of art. It's a shame to you know, hide it because it looks so good. But he said he wishes that hadn't been canceled. He said, unfortunately, it did get canceled, but it probably would have been canceled into the future because the demand for large sedans is not there. The other one he mentions, and that makes sense, we were just talking about it, and they brought it back, is the Bolt. He said the Bolt should have never been canceled. They should have never went out of production, and it just happened. And, hey, they righted it. They brought it back and updated it. Which was a bigger update than you thought because the exterior looks the same, but underneath the whole electrical system is different, new batteries, and a lot of work went in to make that work. And then the final one he mentions is the EV1. He said it was produced from 96 to 99, and it should have been continued on. It should have got at least a second generation. With improved batteries and things like that. Yeah, that was bad that they did that, wasn't it?
Yes, I was fortunate to be the first one in the Mid-Atlantic, anyway, to get the EV1 to drive. They delivered it to me on the National Mall
Wow.
near the Washington Monument. It was a big deal. They had big tents out there, and they had about five of them. And it was you got in it and you hit the turn on button. It wasn't a start button, and the dash panel. They said we're going to turn on the wow panel now, and as soon as you hit the on, it truly was a wow panel. It looked like Tokyo at night,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a terrific car. Now, I know there have been lots of there's a whole video out on who killed the
Oh yeah,
EV1.
it's a whole movie, a
Um,
documentary.
yeah, it was a huge engineering exercise. It had 26 lead acid automotive batteries in it.
That's a lot of weight.
Clearly, this was not what was going to stay in it.
No.
Had a range of 84 miles, and it was terrific. I don't know how many people in the rest of the automotive press up in your area got to drive them, but I I took it around. Everybody I knew wanted to ride in it.
Yeah.
It was fast and delightful.
Yeah.
And at the time, I just thought, they can redesign some lithium batteries. Actually, at that point, it would have been even earlier than that, nickel metal hydride or something.
Yeah.
Um, but they, they were on to different things, and they canceled it. And it shouldn't have been canceled. That technology should have kept
Yeah.
going.
They should have kept developing it for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, let's talk about vehicles that are electric and have been delayed or canceled. This is a great list from Inside EVs. And they talk about this everything from the end of the tax credit to tariffs to other reasons, just business reinvestment. Even, as we said, many manufacturers are delaying going
Yep.
electric, and they can't afford to right now. Um, some of these are a surprise on this list from Inside EVs, including the Acura ZDX. I did not know that was canceled. I did not know this based on the Cadillac Lyriq and Chevrolet Blazer EV underpinnings. So big news there. Dodge Charger Daytona RT postponed to 2026. The electric Dodge Charger has been a terrible launch.
Yep.
Um,
We've
you know,
talked about that.
I
Yep.
don't know if that will ever come out, but it was supposed to be the affordable priced electric Charger. That's been postponed to 2026. We'll see. We'll see. The Dodge Charger Banshee, we told you about this earlier on Cruise Control Motoring. That's been canceled. That was the top spec model with an 800
Mm.
volt electrical system. Mopar Insiders says that's gone. Um, and then over to Ford, they're canceling or delaying the next generation full size Lightning electric pickup, right?
That's right. That has not sold well or anywhere near expectations. Nothing wrong with it. It's just people don't want it.
Yeah. So no sense spending money on it right now for Ford. They're delaying it to 2028. Same with Ford's next generation electric van, their e-transit van. That's been delayed to 2028. And then you have some news from Genesis, right?
Well, yeah. Now Genesis, yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful vehicle, but the electrified G80 is discontinued.
Mm-hmm.
It has not been a good seller, and it is. You and I both drove it. It's a wonderful, wonderful car. But sales figures with a new 15% tariff on South Korean cars, and all of a sudden you have to discontinue it.
Yeah.
People just don't want to throw the money out.
Yep.
Uh, and this is just what we're living in.
Land Rover Range Rover EV delayed to 2026. There's a lot going on at Land Rover, Range Rover. So, that's probably a smart move on their part.
Yes, and another vehicle that's been canceled is the Maserati MC20 Folgore,
Mm-hmm.
which has been really a high performance electric sports car that they've been working on for a long time, which means a lot of effort and a lot goes into the decision. It's based on the V6 powered MC20.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a battery powered two-door sports car, like a sports car, but no demand.
No demand.
And Stellantis said, "Hey, look, we have other vehicles we can sell, and we can put the money elsewhere." And they still have three EVs on the Italian EVs on the way: the Gran Cabrio, the Gran Turismo, and the Grecale.
All right. Well, Mercedes has put models on hold: the EQE sedan, the EQE SUV, the EQS sedan, and the EQS SUV, all U.S. bound models on hold. They're not sure how long these will be on hold, but it's just another sign. Also, over at Nissan, the area production on hold for the U.S.
Yeah, that's surprising.
And Nissan and Infiniti electric sedans built in the U.S. are canceled. So big changes, and you've got a couple of more, right? The crossovers from Nissan. And
That's
Infiniti.
right. The Infiniti, Nissan, and Infiniti crossovers are delayed to 2028 and 2029. At least we have a date.
Although you never know if that will make it after that. Yeah,
that's right. They've delayed them by 10 months for various reasons. I'm sure some of it has to do with tariffs. It certainly wouldn't have much to do with availability of batteries, because the battery manufacturers must be screaming.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do with all these? And then the Polestar 2 is postponed indefinitely. Now, Polestars are pretty cool vehicles.
Yeah.
But it's Chinese origin, tariffs,
all that.
There you go.
And two more. Ram 1500 REV. We told you about this. That was going to be the all-electric Ram. Now, the REV is going to be the extended range electric with the engine charging the battery. But the all-electric one is gone, and the Ram Charger becomes the REV, basically, the extended range electric vehicle. Another sad thing, Volkswagen ID7, beautiful, sleek sedan. It's canceled in the U.S. Sedans just don't sell, and not worth it to them.
Now, let me tell you how significant all that we've just said is. Here we are. We have just said that there are 19 EVs that are canceled or postponed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big segment.
Oh, yeah. And I've got one more for you. The Buzz.
20.
The VW Buzz has gone out of production. They're halting production. It's a 4-day pause, which might not be that much, but very weak demand for that vehicle, too pricey. The factory can build 130,000 units annually, but only 35,000 sold in 2023.
Oh, boy. Now, I will say, Fred, I see ID Buzzes around here all the time.
I don't see any where I am in New York. I just don't see any. I saw the one I had when I reviewed it.
And that's it. You have the one. I'm thinking that maybe what I'm seeing is a bunch of ID Buzzes that have been given to the VW staff, which is the headquarters, is just 12 miles away from me.
Yeah.
And maybe they're driving them around. I have no idea who
Well,
is driving them, or
I have to say that happened, believe it or not, with the Pontiac Aztec. They
oh boy,
basically sold a brand new vehicle, Aztec, to
yep,
to employees of GM for like $8,000. Who wouldn't? I don't care if
yeah,
it's
that's right.
ugly. If it's brand new, it will run. Who cares? Yeah, it's ugly. So what? I got it for $8,000. Do you fault me? Would you take a new car for
Yep,
$8,000? With a
and
warranty?
away they gave away 400 of them on the Oprah show that one day.
I think those were G6s. They were not. They were not
I thought it was
Aztecs.
Aztecs.
No, no, it was
Yeah,
G6s. You get a new car. You get a new car. You
that's
remember that?
that's right.
All
That's
right.
right.
So doom and gloom time, but we
Yeah.
have news that one of the vehicles that is electric and was coming up is still happening, according to Stellantis. The new revolutionary Recon will be coming out, all electric vehicle, but that is delayed. I guess it could go on that
Yeah.
list. It is
Yeah.
delayed. They said they would reveal it in November, according to Motor Trend, but Jeep CEO Bob Brodorf confirmed the brand remains on track to launch it soon, aiming for it to go on sale in the spring of 2026. But I don't know. I don't know. It's a good-looking vehicle. I don't like that color, but it's a good-looking vehicle. Um, and I think an electric off-roader would be interesting with the torque
I
and
think
the
so
fact that
too.
it's quiet. I think, I'm glad they're still making it. But with any of these electric vehicles, I like how it looks too, the squared off look and that.
It is an attractive Jeep. It doesn't have some of those what would be the description, sort of chiseled features
Mm-hmm.
that so many Jeeps have.
Yeah, it
It's
it
smoother.
it's good looking. I hope it gets built. I do hope it gets built. I really do. But it could get built, and it could get built with a gas engine. You don't know.
Yeah,
So we'll have to see. And I wouldn't park it right by the ocean if, although they.
it's I this of course is going to cost me a little bit of effort because I'm currently writing the automotive content for the DC Auto Show in January, and I just finished writing up the Recon, saying be sure and take a look during the show. The Recon will be here.
Maybe it will.
Um,
Maybe it will in
maybe not.
prototype. Yeah, maybe. Maybe
I
not.
need to do some editing for it.
Yes, you need to do some editing because it could. And then let's add one more to it, Les. Bright Drop, the vans from GM. Remember, they sold some to FedEx. They just gave away a
Oh
bunch
yeah.
to Red Cross, the electric vans. Gone, dropping, not
Mm.
doing it. So there is a list of many that have been canceled,
Boy,
discontinued, delayed. But who knows? Who knows where it will go? That is a large list of electric vehicles that
it
are
is. They're not.
affected.
The electric vehicle is not dead.
It's
Far
it's
from
just
it. It's
delayed.
it's it's delayed for any number of reasons, and they will be around. And frankly, this gives the infrastructure a little bit of time to build up.
Yes, I agree. Let's go over to Toyota once again. A lot going on with Toyota. This week in Japan, they revealed the FJ Land Cruiser, and it was known as the FJ Cruiser when it was built
Right.
in the U.S. Or not built in the U.S. It was brought to the U.S. And that was from 2027 to 2014. Very popular still. But this is the new Land Cruiser FJ that was revealed in Japan. And the exterior design follows a silhouette that emphasizes a square cabin, very square. In the back, you look back by the
Very
D
square.
pillar. It is very square. But that is not unlike the model that we had in the U.S. Very so very similar. Interior styling, exterior styling fuses traditional and modern. I mean, when you look at the interior, it is basically um, a modern
Hmm.
Toyota. But customization is big in here. Round headlights, reminiscent of previous generations of Land Cruisers. Molly panels for attaching outdoor equipment that can provide cargo space for diverse uses. Robust exterior and functional items that employ Land Cruiser's signature off-road style. You see things like snorkels and all kinds of things like that on the outside. Um, and then it has like removable bumper parts, like you don't on the sides where if you wreck something when you're off roading, you can easily replace it. Um, will it come to the U.S.? I don't know. Is it a little too Japanese in style, perhaps, for the U.S.? I don't know. It looks like the Jimny from Suzuki, which was very popular. Of course,
Yeah.
here it looks like a shrunk down Land Cruiser. But would a baby Land Cruiser do well in the Toyota lineup? If it's not built in the U.S., it's probably not going to come here. I would say, wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. I think it would do pretty well because it's kind of a strong competitor to the Jeep Wrangler. But
Mm,
um, in this economic climate, I don't see it coming.
yeah, I don't either. It's just interesting to look at, interesting to know about. So we wanted to bring it to you on Cruise Control Motoring. Another interesting thing is how AI is being used in vehicles. And you and I have been talking about this. One of the things you're going to see is very conversational navigation or, voice recognition. As a matter of fact, I was just at a show yesterday. They were saying how to talk to AI. You have to talk to it like instead of turn the heat up, it would be, hey, I'm getting a little cold. Would it be possible to turn the heat up maybe just a few degrees? You have to talk in a very conversational way as if you are talking to someone. And that's what GM has announced this week. A lot of different things, but we'll start with their conversational AI. Beginning next year, GM vehicles will feature conversational AI with Google Gemini, making it possible to talk to your car naturally as you would to a fellow passenger. In the future, GM will introduce its own AI custom built for your vehicle. With your permission, it will be fine tuned with your vehicle's intelligence and your personal preferences, all connected by OnStar, which could include explaining one pedal driving in your new vehicle, spotting a maintenance issue, or finding the perfect place for dinner en route to your destination.
Yeah,
So you wouldn't
this is
say, hey, I'm hungry, what restaurants are around? You would say, I'm really interested in finding a really high end pizza place, hopefully the coal fired ovens with some nice toppings. Have you ever had
yeah.
those? And where would you do it? And have you ever talked to AI like that very conversationally? It's kind of fun.
Well, no, I never have. I've talked to people that way,
Well, AI will respond in a very conversational way. I
which
have
which
where
I
I
like
said,
that.
"Wow, you've done a really nice job here. I think you should relax and have a beer." And it said, I think that's a great idea. Thank you. I will, of course, have a virtual beer, not a real one, but I think that's a good idea. So it's kind of fun. I,
Yeah.
but that's kind of the concept here. Now, a few other things that GM has revealed: eyes off driving. One of the most significant steps towards the future of autonomy, GM has announced plans to bring eyes off driving to the market by 2028, debuting in the Cadillac Escalade IQ. They have already mapped 600,000 miles of hands free roads in North America and customers have driven 700 million miles with Super Cruise without a single reported crash, unlike someone else's
That's
system.
pretty impressive.
And additionally, the technology and validation frameworks from Cruise add more than 5 million fully driverless miles of experience in the future. So, interesting stuff. Computing upgrade is another thing they're going to do in GM vehicles. In 2028, GM will debut a new centralized computing platform, starting with the Cadillac Escalade IQ, which seems to be the lead-off batter for this. There will be a full reimaging of how the vehicles are designed, updated, and improved over time, built to power both EVs, gas vehicles, and the update unites every major system from propulsion and steering to infotainment and safety into a single high-speed computing core. Better hope that doesn't break, right?
This is very significant.
Here's the result. The 10 times more over-the-air software update capability, 1,000 times more bandwidth, and up to 35 times more AI performance for autonomy and advanced features. It's a foundation built for continuous learning improvement, enabling GM vehicles to evolve long after they leave the showroom.
Yeah, so the vehicles, as they say, they evolve long after they leave the showroom. This is terrific. You know, your vehicle stays modern.
Yes.
Which we all would love.
But it's what, you think about it, it definitely was, infotainment was the thing that would show its age the most. That's going to be updating constantly. On top of that, GM has shared progress on how it's scaling its robotics work at the Autonomous Robotics Center in Warren, Michigan, and Sister Lab in Mountain View, California. More than 100 roboticists, AI engineers, and hardware specialists are building advanced robotic systems trained on decades of GM production data, such as telemetry, quality metrics, and sensor feeds from thousands of robots to create AI that learns and improves with every manufacturing cycle. That's more manufacturing. And then backup power. Today, most GM's electric vehicles can provide backup power from the batteries to properly equipped homes, and soon they'll be capable of providing backup power to the electric grid. GM is offering a range of EV charging and backup home energy choices. Starting in 2026, they'll make the full GM Energy Home System bi-directional EV charging system plus a stationary home battery available via leasing. So you can offload your power from your car to a battery in your house or vice versa.
We have been talking about this for years. It is finally here. GM has been working on stationary power plants for close to 30 years, in the background. And this, for your home or for your neighborhood or for your condo building or whatever. This is the future of electric generation.
I agree. We were kind of doom and gloom on electric vehicles and new models being canceled or delayed. Let's highlight one that has done well, and that is the BMW iX3. We told you about this not that long ago on Cruise Control Motoring. But BMW did not expect it, but its newest SUV is a hit. The first of the new class is selling well, more than 3,000 orders already in just one country. And they say that, Germany is the lead, 3,000 orders there. BMW sold 181,000 vehicles in Germany in the first 9 months of 2025. So that kind of lets you know that this is kind of a big number for them already. It will start at 80,000 in Germany, much less in the U.S. It's actually a pretty good value in the U.S. I believe it's around 60,000 starting number, and it has two motors making 463 horsepower. It is a Model Y fighter, and we'll have to see how well it does in the U.S. I'm sure it will do well.
I think it will do well. BMW loyalty is well known, and this is great. And you know, it's nice to give some positive story here on electric vehicles.
Yeah, on electric
Yeah,
vehicle, that's sure. That sure is, because that was fairly negative with all those vehicles. Uh, it doesn't mean they won't come in. I think the idea, though, of an $80,000 electric vehicle, they want to get away from that, and they will be able to. And once again, like I told all of our viewers and listeners, that electric vehicles are being developed so quickly, and battery chemistry is changing, and infrastructure is changing, and the ability to charge it so fast, you don't want to be
yeah.
locked in with one that charges slowly or has low range. So I think that's keeping people from really investing big money. They probably still are better off leasing, unless it's something like a Bolt, where it's around $30,000. I'd say that's probably safe to roll with. But let's talk about a couple of completely different stories from electricity to over to the National Corvette Museum, and they are expanding thanks to, of all people, Neil Armstrong, of course, Apollo 11
Yeah.
commander and test pilot, and of course, as you know, Corvette owner. They
Yep.
have his part of the museum collection has his 1967 Marina Blue Corvette Stingray with a 427 and the Rock Crusher. I'm sure it was owned by Armstrong. The plates say Armstrong on it. It even has a NASA plate of where the front plate would go, because he was in Florida. They don't run a front plate. So they're going to expand the museum, and that will be one of the displays. They've begun work, Les, listen to this, on a new 66,000 square foot collections facility set to open a year from now, and it will increase the museum's capacity for vehicle preservation, small artifact conservation, and long-term storage. And it will include spaces for behind-the-scenes tours, just very much like the Peterson Museum does with their vault,
Yeah,
where they're
that's
not on
right.
display, but you can go down there. And so, longtime museum supporters Mary and Ivan Shrout pledged $1 million, earning naming rights to the vehicle collections gallery. This is according to Michael LaRocca, the museum's board chair elect. He contributed also $500,000, and that will be named the Michael LaRocca and Family Atrium. And another 500,000 donation came from Melanie and Tim McMichael and family to lend their name to the Preservation Center and Heritage Conservation Lab. And an additional $100,000 gift was provided by an anonymous donor. So a lot of people putting money into the Corvette Museum. Pretty cool that they have Neil Armstrong's 1967 Corvette Stingray. It was one bad A car with that 427, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Well, again, all the astronauts had Corvettes back then. Um, that it was a big time for Corvettes. I know when we were in Pensacola in naval aviation training, about half of the graduating pilots that I knew bought went out and bought a Corvette. It
Now,
was
did they buy the big block or did they buy the
some some
327?
did, but most of them bought 327s or 350s.
Mm-hmm.
This was later in the 60s, so it was much more 350s. And because it was Florida, a lot got air conditioning.
Yeah, not a
And
bad idea in Florida.
not a bad idea. Of course, you didn't know where you were being given orders to yet,
Right.
but still, it was fun watching so many people at the Pensacola Buggy Works, which was the dealership.